Hello everyone and welcome to our new episode of the Expat Career and Lifestyle podcast. This is Dominika Miernik, your host, and today I have a very special guest with me, Joanna Blein. She is living in Switzerland, and with Joanna we are going to speak about her international journey, her lifelong challenges as an eczema warrior, and how she transitioned from being burned out to creating her new business adventure, Feel Good Couture. Hello, Joanna. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Dominika. Thank you for having me. I'm very, very honored to be here.
Me too. I am very excited to have you and to hear your wonderful story. So please tell us more about you and how your international journey started. So you are from Poland, like me. So tell us more how you ended up in Switzerland.
Yes, of course. I come from Poland. And okay, so a few words about me. As you already know, I am a founder of Feel Good Couture. It's a community-driven clothing brand company. For women who have a sensitive skin or suffer from skin condition like me. I've been living in Switzerland for over 14 years now. I moved to Switzerland in 2006 when I've got a job in American glass pack company, just after I finished my study. And this is basically how it started. I actually told my family that I'm going for 1 year just to gain some experience. And it's been already 14 years that I didn't come back to home. And I think that it will not come at this moment to going back to Poland because I met my husband here. He's French. My daughter was born in Switzerland. None of them, unfortunately, speaks Polish, but my daughter understands very well. She's a cheeky girl. When she has a business, she can to me. She can talk. She can speak Polish, but in general, we don't speak Polish at home. So it's a big problem. But basically, yeah, looks like my journey got a bit extended.
Yeah. For a long time, but this is usually like that. You are going for like a few months, 1 year, and then you stay forever.
Exactly, exactly, it's that way.
This is a common pattern, for most internationals and expat. So, what was your biggest challenge in this international adventure, and how did you overcome it?
That's actually a great question. I think that there were a couple of challenges, but the one that took me a few years actually to overcome was linked to the language and the mindset. Although I speak now French pretty well, for a long time I was convinced that I don't speak well enough to be able to set up my own business. And actually finding the courage and self-confidence that I have everything I need to create my business here in Switzerland, and that I am capable of doing this, require from me the major mindset shift. And this took me a couple of years, actually. I was working with a business coach on that, and we went through all my belief system and my habits, and we try one by one to replace all the thoughts and habits that were limiting me with a positive, with the positive ones. So I think this is something that a lot of people who want to start their own businesses abroad struggle with. So, and I think that mindset is the right place to start.
Mm-hmm. So like working on your mindset and your like limiting beliefs. Yes, I think this is like one of the biggest challenges, the language, because you don't feel confident enough, and also like knowing your mindset and knowing the culture. So it's important to work with that. So I know that in the past you had also a marketing consulting business, and that you started this business, and also based on your experience with your skin challenges, at some point you experienced your you broke down basically, and you say that this was like the broke down that like never before. So why that happened, and how did you overcome this situation?
Yes, that's true. Actually, it's a longer story, but to make this long story a bit short, basically, I suffer from severe atopic dermatitis, which is the atopic eczema, for all my life, actually. So it will be 4 decades now. And all my life, I was waiting for the new treatment. I was waiting that somebody will find a miracle cure for this disease. Because for a long time there was no new drug for this disease. So 2 years ago, actually, a pharmaceutical company found a new biological drug. It's the first biological drug that was created for the severe atopic dermatitis, and this drug got a lot of positive feedback and a lot of positive results from other people who were taking, who participated basically in the clinical trial. So in 2018, actually, this drug was not approved yet in Switzerland. It was already approved in US, and that was the time where my skin was really, really bad. And to this extent that 95% of my body was covered with eczema. It was cracked, bleeding and oozing, and it was a nightmare. And I was hospitalized in Geneva. And because I tried everything what was available on the market, I actually talked to my doctor in the hospital, and I asked him if he can get me this drug, this new biological drug. I just felt like this is the miracle drug I was waiting all my life. So I had a lot of luck because this doctor managed to get me this drug, and I've got my first loading shot. It's an injection that you get in the belly every 2 weeks. So I've got this first injection on 10th of December at 10:23. I still remember this. That was such an important moment for me. I was crying from joy. And I left the hospital. My skin started healing. Actually, I was observing like all of these patches and ones were disappearing basically, and the itch, which is the biggest problem when you suffer from skin condition, disappear instantly. So I was very, very happy, and I was creating all of the plans for the future, what I will do, what I couldn't do till now. But basically after 6 injections, so more or less after two months, 2.5, I started to experiencing a very severe side effects. So first of all, I've got a very chronic and severe conjunctivitis. I couldn't open my eyes. My eyes were so red and sore that I couldn't work. So I was on the medical leave. Then actually I started to have a problem with my joints. I couldn't open the toothpaste. So I had such a big problem with the joints, and it was a big struggle for me. And then I also got a very weird, undefined rash on my face. It wasn't eczema because it wasn't itching. It was really red. It was really boiling hot, and I felt like I was on the sun all the time. So I got very, swollen, and it was very weird. And this rash started to extend to my neck and the upper part of my back and the chest. Together with my doctor, actually, we tried different type of treatments to get rid of this rash, but it didn't respond to any of this treatment. So we took a decision to do the biopsy. So we sent a piece of the sample that he took from my neck to the toxicology laboratory in Geneva. And after 10 days, we've got the results. And what happened is that I've got a very severe allergic reaction to this new drug. And within the seconds, actually, when I learned about the results, I broke like in gazillion pieces, to be honest. I was completely devastated because all of the hope that I put into this drug, the 40 years of waiting for this drug, the drug that actually was giving the life back to other people who were suffering from the same diseases. All of this hope turned into the huge, massive disappointment. And I am a strong person in general, and I can put myself relatively very fast. But this time, I just couldn't put myself together. I was crying day and night. I couldn't find the motivation to get up in the morning, and my family, my husband was suffering with me. My husband was suffering with me very, I would say that his suffering was double, because first of all, he was looking at the woman he loves who's suffering from the disease, from the disappointment, and he was suffering also because he's a scientist. He's a chef of the R&D department in one of the biotech here in Switzerland. He's working on the treatment for my disease and the cancer or other diseases. So for him, he felt like a failure as well as a scientist, because he couldn't help me. But after weeks of crying day and night, he actually said, "Joanna, you should really seek for help." And we went to our family doctor, and because she knows my story very well, I couldn't actually talk to her because immediately I was, bursting into tears, and it was horrible. So my husband explained the situation, and we asked her to recommend me a therapist, and I had a lot of luck again, and I'm very grateful for that, because my family doctor, she recommended me a very great therapist who is not only a therapist, but also a dermatologist who dedicated all her life to study the impact of the skin diseases on people's emotions and psychological and mental health, and also the quality of their life. And this was actually the first time when I really, really felt that somebody really understands me, what I'm going through. And thanks to her, I relatively fast got back on my feet. And this project, actually, the Feel Good Couture, is the project that serves me also as art therapy. So it's very important for me because, it helps me to heal. So today, the fact that I'm here with you talking about this experience without crying is actually thanks to her and this project. So that was a very difficult experience in my life, but I learned a lot, because first of all, I learned that there is nothing like miracle drug. What works for somebody will not necessarily work for you. And when it comes to the skin conditions, the tricky things is that every person has a different combination of triggers. And it almost like every person should have a personalized treatment. And this is actually very tricky, to do this, because immune system is it's not completely known. So we are still learning how it works. And also when it comes to the atopic dermatitis, and I think it's very similar to other skin diseases, we don't really know what triggers this disease. So putting a hope into a drug, it's not exactly the best way to do. I learned it in a very painful way, but I'm very happy that I did it, because I learned for the future. So I'm much more aware now about myself, my skin, me as a person, and what is going on, when it comes to this disease. So it was a very, very important experience. And also it shows that mental health is extremely important. Everybody, even the people who don't struggle with any chronic disease, should care about their mental health. I mean, we are living in the very fast world. there are a lot of expectations now. We should look beautiful, 24/7. We should be a very good mother or father, or, a worker, a wife and husband. There's so many expectations, we have to be successful before we reach 30. I mean, this is really ridiculous. So it's very, very easy to lose the mind, to go crazy. So taking care of our mental health, taking a pause and get a reasonable expectation from ourselves, it's very important. So that was also a very big lesson for me.
Yes, I think mental health is very important because, as you said, there are expectations from outside, and sometimes we want to meet these expectations, but this can be like an effect on our bodies or our mind and how we show up in our world and for our friends and family. So it's important to take care of ourselves also when it comes to mental.
Definitely. Yes.
Yeah, and like from all those challenges that you overcome, so this idea, Feel Good Couture, was born. So can you tell more about that? How did you come up with this idea, and how are you building the brand? Because from all those challenges that you have, from all those obstacles, so this is a very beautiful, a beautiful, let's say, change for you in your life to create this new adventure.
Yeah, definitely. So the idea of clothes made specifically for women who suffer from skin conditions or who have an extremely sensitive skin was actually born years ago. I think I was 15. I was a teenager, and that was the time that my eczema was really horrible to manage. That was also the time that people didn't really, and doctors really didn't know what atopic dermatitis is. So they couldn't really give me the treatment that worked. So that was the time also where my friends and started dating and going for holidays together, and I couldn't do any of that because of my skin. So while there were others, playing and partying and doing all of these crazy things that teenagers do, I was actually suffering in my room, in my bed. This is the time also where you want to belong and be understood, and I wanted this as well. And my skin disease actually impacted my self-confidence and self-esteem in a very big way. So to be liked and to boost a bit my self-confidence and self-esteem, I actually fell in love with clothes, with fashion. This actually was the moment where my passion for fashion started. I was using the clothes, and I'm still using the clothes as my armor, as my second skin. So basically, it's not only to boost to feel better in my skin, but it also when I was younger, I wanted to hide my skin. So I was using the clothes to hide my disease. To be, because I wanted to be accepted by my colleagues. So it's already, it's like 25 years when this idea was born. At the beginning, I didn't really thought about setting up my own business and doing this stuff. I was rather waiting for other fashion brands that will create this kind of collection for people with skin diseases. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, and I know what the reason, because people who don't suffer from the skin diseases, they don't really realize how difficult it is to find the clothes that soothe your skin and makes you feel comfortable. So this idea was coming back every single time when I was struggling with my eczema. Every time when my eczema was waking up and giving me a hard time, I had a hard time to find the clothes that will make me feel comfortable and that I could wear outdoor or to the office. And probably like many women, and my closet is full of clothes, but this clothes were useless on the bad skin days, So 2 years ago, when I had the biggest crisis, and I was in the hospital, I was actually looking for stylish, more skin-friendly options on the market, and I couldn't find it. But what I found actually was that there are more women like me who had a very similar problem, and this actually really kicked the idea to launch my own business, not only to create a clothes for myself, but also I thought that other women can also profit from this. So here I am now creating this business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I started already making the market research when I was laying in the hospital. So I was talking to the dermatologist, I was talking to the patients, you know, to learn more about their experiences about the clothes, with the clothes. And I learned a lot. I did a survey. There were a lot of women who took the survey. And based on the survey, actually, I created the first piece of clothing, which is now presented on the website. Unfortunately, due to the COVID-19, I am not able to sell it yet, mm-hmm. because my fabric is not ready. Mm-hmm. But shortly, I think Italy started, you know, coming back to business. So I hope that I will be able to finish my fabric shortly. And so if you're interested, just look at the comments on the news on my website. But yes, this is you know, the clothes that I created. They were created based on the feedback I've got from other women, mm-hmm. who are fighting with skin conditions. So it's not something that I create for my ego. Artistic ego. It's created really based on the needs. So in the world where we have so many fashion brands and there are so many clothes that the companies are not able to sell, and we pollute the world, our planet, there is still a gap, as you can see. Yeah. There is still a gap. So so I decided to create this niche company, and every single piece actually is created based on the feedback from other skin warriors. So it's a really co-creative process. Mm-hmm. It's not something that I create myself. It's mm-hmm. just the really community project.
Yeah. So you found the gap in the market. Yes. Basically, yeah. So that's important. And yeah, so you said that it's like a community work when it comes to creating those clothes. But how do you get this inspiration, the ideas? Like, for example, when it comes to style or like the design.
Yeah. So Feel Good Couture is a community-driven brand. The co-creation, like I said, it's at the heart of this brand. So before I really design the garment, mm-hmm. Before I really sit with a piece of paper and the pencil, I create the survey and I ask my community of skin warriors to share their thoughts and experiences, their mm-hmm. experiences with the clothes or with the particular piece of garment in the survey. And based on their feedback and the needs, I start designing and developing the piece of clothing. Okay. And because I've been myself an eczema warrior for 4 decades now, I know exactly what pieces are missing on the market, mm-hmm. and I also know how this pieces should be constructed differently to lessen the risk of further damage of the skin. Mm. Right? So the ideas come from my daily life, actually. I know what is missing, what I miss in my life in terms mm-hmm. of the clothes. I know what I'm looking for the clothes. And usually when I have this idea, I confirm it with other skin warriors if they feel the same. Yeah. In terms of the style, I stick to the minimalistic mm-hmm. design. I don't want to impose, design and style to anybody, because fashion is our clothes is the way how we express ourselves. So I treat the clothes that I create as a canvas. So I give the canvas to the people who suffer from skin condition, and they can decorate it the way they want to express themselves, by accessories, by mm-hmm. by backs and wearing the specific clothes and so on, right? So that's why the clothes are very simple in terms of design. They are minimalistic. They are all made from the 100% natural fabrics. All clothes or the prototypes are tested by myself on my skin. So I wear them, I wash them, I iron them to see how they will behave.
Yeah.
Or other skin warriors. I have a few projects right now that I started with other skin warriors and the skin influencers. So I don't want to tell too much because it's pretty fresh. So and we are, finalizing the details. But yeah, it's all done and tested. So because I'm obsessed about the customer satisfaction, I'm obsessed about the quality, safety. I'm obsessed about also the aesthetic side, because that's the problem. There are a lot of eco-friendly clothes, but that doesn't mean that they are skin-friendly. That's very important. That are, in terms of design, doesn't really fit sometimes in our, to our taste. So it's very important that, for me, it was very important that whatever I create, it will be the highest quality possible. It will be made from the natural fabrics. It will be safe for the skin and for the planet, and it will be aesthetically pleasing. So that's the 4 criteria that every piece of garment that I create goes through.
Yeah. So, like, how come it took you like 25 years to find your path? Like,
yeah, it's a long time. It's indeed a long time. It took me 25 years, probably from the same reasons that many women struggle to start the business, which is the imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome. So basically, I needed 25 years to digest this idea. They say that if there is an idea that comes back constantly to your mind, it means that it's your calling. There is something in it. Yeah, there is something in it. So basically, it took me so long because for many years I thought that who the hell I am to launch this kind of business. I never worked in the fashion industry. I had no clue how to design clothes. I had no idea what the production process is. So I simply felt I don't have the necessary skills to launch the clothing brand. So this imposter syndrome was very, very strong in my case. And the pivotal moment was actually my hospitalization. Again, that's why I'm at the end very grateful for it. Because when my skin was very angry and painful, and I had a hard time to find the clothes that wouldn't further damage my skin and make me feel comfortable, and the clothes that look that are stylish, so I can go to the office and see the clients, right? Because the time I was still working for the Swiss company, I felt that it's time to launch my own brand, because if not now, then when? Huh? And if not me, then who? Huh?
Then who?
Like they say, yeah. So they say that necessity is a mother of innovation, and actually it perfectly fits my story. So originally it was my own need for this clothes, but since I discovered that many other people and many other women have the same problem, I decided that maybe it's a good idea to launch the company. And suddenly I also understood that this 40 years of struggling with severe eczema actually made me a perfect person to design the clothes for women like me, because I exactly understand what they are going through and what they need. And the person who has never experienced what we are experiencing every single day, actually, I don't think so. This person would be able to create the clothes that address completely our needs. because there are details that are very difficult to explain in words. But when you put your clothes on the skin, we immediately feel that something is wrong. So yeah, it took me 25 years, but it's not a lost time, because, you know, I am a strong believer that everything happens for a reason, and everything happens in the right time. So all of these years, when I was thinking about how I would develop the brand if I would start the business, it helped me to create a very clear vision. So now when I started this company, I think it's 20 or 24 months ago, I really started working on this idea. I had a very clear vision what I want to do and how I want to build my business. I knew from the very first moment that I don't want to the models, you know, in the photo session. I want to have a real woman who suffer from skin conditions to present my clothes. I want them to show their own emotions on the photos. I want them to have fun when they have, you know, I want them to feel the clothes and express how they feel. And so everything that I create around my brand is real. It's also linked to the mission of my brand. So yeah, this 25 years, I think I needed them to really, to really pinpoint every single thing that needed to be pinpointed, that needed to be, you know, worked on. So yeah.
Yes, I can hear the passion behind this new adventure that you have started. So Joanna, thank you very much for being with us today and sharing your story and being an inspiration for other women who are in the same situation, like maybe like you, or women who are thinking about starting their business and looking for their passion. So tell us, like, what are your plans for the future when it comes to Feel Good Couture, and also where can we find more information about you? And I have that you have also a gift for our listeners. So tell us more about that.
Yes. So basically, regarding the future, I will keep going to build a brand that shows the things the way they are, the brand that is really dedicated to its mission, which is basically to create the clothes that will make women with a sensitive skin and skin condition feel good again. But there is also the other mission behind it, because it's also the platform to raise the awareness about the skin conditions, which is very important because it helps me. This brand actually was created also to help normalize the visibility of the skin complaints in everyday media. So it's very important. I have a couple of projects that I'm working on with skin influencers and other skin warriors, and you can learn about that when you sign up to the newsletters. And actually, if you sign up to the newsletters, here is the gift: you will receive 10% off for the first purchase. And also, if you want to learn more about the Feel Good Couture and my story and the campaign that we did, you can go to my website, feelgoodcouture.com. I think that Dominika you will place the link also in the
show notes.
Yes, yeah. And so I have a lot of ideas actually, but you know, when you suffer from skin condition, you have to learn doing things one by one. You cannot jump and do plenty of things in the same time, because your skin will suffer. So it's also for me, it's a very great experience to learn how to build a business and without jeopardizing my health. So very tricky thing, but I think it's very useful also to learn.
Beautiful, Joanna. So I will put the link with the show notes so people can go and check your website and also grab the gift. So thank you very much once again for being with us today, and I wish you all the best for the future.
Thank you very much, Dominika, for having me. It was a pleasure to talking to you and to present my project and my experience and my story.
Wonderful, wonderful. So thank you very much to everyone who is listening. So tell us, what are your learning points? What are your insights? Share in the comments, and I will be back soon with another fantastic episode. So thank you very much, and speak to you soon.